and I have taken the actual screenshots, okay, so that you can find, okay, these are the real questions. Okay, so the very first question is, choose the word from the passage that is closest in the meaning to word stock. Okay, so basically there was a passage. Anyways, here I have not taken the passage because I couldn't got, but it is asking for stock, right? So what is the meaning of stock? So basically, we use stock for referring the meaning when someone is following to someone, right? Secretly, usually on social media, we stalk our loved ones or exes and all, right? So stock is for something you are following something or you are approaching something or someone. Okay, so we can have a look on pursue. So pursue is something again you are following. If you say na that I'm pursuing BTech or I'm pursuing BA, BSc, whatever you are pursuing, right? So pursuing is something that you are holding with you, that you are doing that thing, following that thing. So yes, pursuing is the closest meaning. It is going to be the answer. But here we will see that why other options are incorrect, right? So progress, what is the meaning of progress? To move forward in advancement of something. This is the meaning of progress. So it is not related to stock, because stock is something to follow someone, to approach someone or something, but progress is to advancement in something or to move forward something. So it is not relatable, so it is not going to be your answer. Next is embrace. Embrace means warm hug, right? With emotional intense warm hug. So embrace is again not relatable. And haul is something to pull away a heavy thing, right? To pull away a heavy thing. So it is again not relatable. So the very first option is going to be a correct answer. This is pursue. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next question. What is the suitable synonym of important? So important meaning is someone who is uh, not able to do something properly, or someone who is not capable of doing something, who doesn't have the capacity of reaching at certain stage, right? So we can say that synonym of important will be incapable, that someone doesn't have the capacity or is not able to do something, right? So incapable will be the synonym of important. And courageous is something, someone who is brave. So that is the meaning of courageous. Faulty, someone who is guilty, someone who has committed a crime or something, right? So he is faulty. Then the next is angry. So angry, we know that usually angry, right? Anger. So means sort of emotions, right? Anger is some sort of emotions, highly emotions. So important is something that someone who is not capable of doing something, or someone who is not capable of reaching at certain stage. So incapable will be the synonym. I hope you get it. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question is, give the correct sequence of the given words or phrases so that it forms a logical sentence. So here we have three phrases we can say, or sentences we can say. We need to arrange these phrases to make a logical sentence. Okay, so let's have a look. We have not included water management in our routine to maintain the quality and quantity of water. So it is something we are telling about the cause of something. Okay, let's move further. And when the water is pumped out from the ground, people who are dependent on groundwater only may have to grab in many areas. So they are suffering in many areas like that. So the second statement is something, with this end, I can identify that it is something in the continuation of before sentence, right? The third is, it is indeed shocking that when so much water pours down from the clouds. Okay, so here what we are going to do is, I know that end is not can be the first statement, because end is something in the continuation of before one. Okay, now, and I found out that the statement one is the cause of something, right? So directly from the cause, I can't start. So the very third statement I would take as first. So it is indeed shocking that when so much water pours down from the clouds. So it is something I'm opening. It is kind of opener sentence to form a logical sentence. So it is the opening sentence. So it is indeed shocking that when so much water pours down from the clouds, we have not included water management in our routine to maintain the quality and quantity of water. And when the water is pumped out from the ground, People who are dependent on groundwater only may grab in many areas. So yes, I got it. So 3, 1, 2 will be the arrangement, because 3 is the opener sentence, 1 is the cause, and then second statement is telling the effect. This was the cause, and as a result, this was the effect. So 3, 1, 2 will be the logical flow and the logical sentence, right? So 3, 1, 2. Option number B will be the correct one. All right, let's move on to the next question. So the next question is again, we need to arrange them to form a logical sentence. And see guys, this sentence arrangement questions are really very important in your Accenture exam, in your Infosys, LTI, even in your TCS also, right? So verbal ability and in verbal ability, these sentences, sentence structure, sentence formation and arrangement is really very important. Okay, now, number one is extreme fluctuation in patterns of rainfall and drought, the change in industrial model to set lower emission targets. The rising danger of climate change has resulted in. Then the third is has become a challenge to mass production and to the economic development in the Third World War. So if we see that has become a challenge cannot be the first statement, because it is something in the continuation or in the conclusion, right? So it cannot be the first statement. So this will not be our answer, right? So we will use the option elimination techniques as well. Now, extreme fluctuation in patterns of rainfall and drought, the changes in industrial model to set lower emission targets, the rising danger of so 1 and 2 are not following. So basically, for this statement, you need to identify the introductory part or the opener sentence. So I have found out that the rising danger of climate change has resulted in extreme fluctuation in patterns of rainfall and drought, the change in industrial model to set lower emission targets has become a challenge to mass production, right? So 2, 1, and 3 will be the correct formation of this sentence to make a logical sentence or to logical paragraph, right? Again, I'm telling you, first of all, you need to identify for the introductory part or the opener sentence, right? So it would be the rising danger of climate change has resulted in. Now you have to tell the result, that what is the outcome of that certain thing. There is a rising danger of climate change, and what is the result of this? What is the outcome of this? So here we are telling the outcome, that extreme fluctuation in patterns of rainfall and drought, the change in industrial model to set lower emission targets. Now, what is the effect of this? So has become a challenge to mass production, right? So 2, 1, 3 will be the correct logical flow of this particular sentence. All right, let's move on to the next one. So the next one is choose the best replacement for the bold part of the statement. You would be better off if you keep yourself from these trons. Okay, now by looking at this statement, it is looking like yes, it is absolutely fine, but there is a crack. So the thing is that this is not the correct idiomatic structure. In English or in verbal ability, we have idioms and phrases, right? You have heard about this, idioms and phrases. So there is an idiomatic structure that it is only key from. Key from is the correct idiomatic structure, and it is something जो कि आपको रटना ही पड़ेगा, right? There is no any rule behind this. There is no nothing, right? This is something idiomatic structure, and it is the correct one. So whenever you see that keep yourself from, so just cut this yourself, and keep from is the correct one, and it will be the answer, right? So it is something that इसका आपको रट्टा लगाना पड़ेगा, because it is the correct form of idiom. Keep from. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. Fill in the blank with the most suitable option. That they no longer stays at Texas to me. Okay. So the thing is that this statement or this sentence is given in the passive voice, right? You have heard about active and passive voice. So if you see that this is in the passive voice, now it is something here should be the participle and the third form, right? So if you see that they no longer stays at Texas is known to me, right? It should be is known to me, because we have to use the third form. So no third form is known, so we will be using that. And here we are talking about the current scenario. That means the present simple, right? So the present simple, so we need to use the present participle form, right? ing wala form. So here in the participle verb we have is, and as a third form of verb of the main verb we will be using known. So is known will be the correct answer. So inactive, if you say, so you should say like, I don't know that, I know that they are no longer living in Texas. But if you are saying it in passive voice, so you will be saying like that, that they no longer stays at Texas is known to me. वो अब टेक्सास में नहीं रहते हैं, ये मुझे पता है. So is known to me will be the correct answer. And would be known is not relatable here, or it is not the correct according to grammar. Has been known, because we are using the simple present, so has been we can't use. Is being is not the correct form of according to grammar, is not the correct one. So is known is the correct one, right? Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, and there is a rule basically, right? So there is a rule in pronoun chapter. I don't know that you are aware of that rule or no, but I'm telling you that whenever you need to arrange first person, second person, and third person, right? So it is something the part of pronoun. Okay. So whenever you need to arrange first person, second person, and third person, and the sentence is following a kind of positive structure, means there is nothing negative about the sentence, right? So if the sentence is a kind of positive sentence, so you will be using one, two, three. That means first person, second person, and third person. And if the sentence is a kind of negative sentence, so you will be using two, three, and one. Now, if you see that this statement, if we are caught, Martin, you and I will be restricted from the hostel. So it is something negative event kind of sentence, right? So this second rule will be implemented here, two, three, one. Now, first of all, second person. So second person is you only. Then third person. So third person is the Martin, right? Third person is Martin. And first person I. So this will be the correct flow. You, Martin, and I. So you, Martin, and I. Option number D will be the correct one for that, because there is a rule. So if in the sentence there is some positive flow, so you will be using 1, 2, 3. And if some negative flow, so you will be using 2, 3, 1. And what is this 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 1? 1 is first person, 2 is second person, 3 is third person. Okay, similar. Or otherwise you can say like, if the sentence is negative, so i I will come at last. I will come at last, because I and we are the first person in English, right? So I will become last, and this 2, 3, 2, 3 are same, right? So if the sentence is positive, I will come first. If the sentence is negative, I will come at last. This is how you can remember this. Or otherwise, simple, remember the rule. So if everything is fine, if the structure is positive, so 1, 2, 3. If the structure is negative, so 2, 3, 1. Right? I hope it is clear to you. Now, let's move on to the next question. Why my pen is not working? Just a minute. Okay, so let's back onto the point. All right. So the next question is, choose the best replacement for the bold part of the statement. Again, now, as soon as I shall reach London, I will inform you where to meet. So the very first thing I noticed here is that the sentence is kind of conditional sentence, that once this condition will be satisfied, then only this thing will happen or will take place, right? Now, if you see that as soon as I shall reach London, I will inform you where to meet. So here I found that shall is something that is no need here. Shall is unnecessary we are using here, right? So we can why my pen is not working? Just a minute, guys. Let me check. Okay, now it is working. Okay, so shall is something that is irrelevant here. We can deny to use shall here. As soon as I reach London, I will inform you where to meet. So just the thing is that you have to remove shall from here. Okay. The next is, I don't know why my pen is not working, and I think there is some connection issue. It's taking so much time. This is out. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. Okay, now come on to the next question, that is, what is a suitable synonym of overwrought, right? So recreate, intense, restore, or original. So overwrought means, here we are looking for synonym, right? Overwrought means that is something totally or highly intense with emotions or wounded with emotions. So something is very intense, right? So intense will be the correct synonym for this. Recreate is not making any sense in the context of this overwrought. Overwrought is something, uh, a thing that is bunched up with the emotions, intense feeling, right? Recreate is something to rebuild, to remake, right? So it is not going to be the synonym of this. Restore, again, to recover something. If you have deleted something, so you can restore or like that. So it is not again overbrought, right? Original is original only. So there is nothing, any option are making the correct, even in the closest meaning. But intense is directly referring to the same feeling that we are looking for, overwrought, right? So intense will be the correct answer. Yes. Okay. Now the next question is, fill in the blanks with the most suitable option. My father is lawyer. So here if we see that this blank is requiring for the article. So article are a, n, or the, right? So the comes for very suitable thing if I am concluding this thing, right? So although there are various rules of articles, but uh, precisely we can say that the is for very specific thing or the very famous thing, that is something very popular, right? An is before that, right? The sound should be of verbal, not should be verbal. The sound should be of verbal, right? It N we can use before mm, umbrella, right? Before umbrella we use N, but before university we don't use N. Although this is U and this is a bubble, but we don't know, we don't use N. Why? Because the sound that university is making is not of a bubble sound. It is a consonant sound. So we use A university and N umbrella. Umbrella is making the sound of bubble, right? But university is not making. So that's why AN is for the sound that comes from a bubble, right? And A, we know that before a countable noun, we use A. Before consonants, we use A, like that. Okay. So my father is a lawyer, because here we are not talking about a very specific thing. So we will not use the lawyer, because it is sounding like consonant. So we will use A, right? Not N. So A will be the answer here. Let's move on to the next question. Fill in the blanks with the most suitable option. So the criminal was caught dash the McDonald's eating a burger. So what exactly McDonald is? It's a location, right? And to refer a location at a certain point, we use at preposition, right? So at will be the answer for this question. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. So again, we need to arrange these sentences to form a logical sentence. The widespread prevalence of hunger is cold indicator. Okay. The second is how people cannot take even a, I think, what is this? Vast thing like food for granted. Basic thing. It is basic thing like food for granted. The extent of social injustice in the world and. Okay. Now, if I see that the extent of social injustice in the world end, so it cannot be the last statement, because it is, again, it is incomplete sentence. So it cannot be the last one. So wherever three is on the last, we can cut those options. So it is denied here. Now, the widespread prevalence of hunger is a cold indicator of the extent of social injustice in the world and how people cannot take even a basic thing like food for granted. So it can be the logical sentence, but what if I prefer three as the first statement? So I would do that. The extent of social injustice in the world and the widespread prevalence of hunger is a cold indicator of how people cannot take even a basic thing like food for granted. So सुनने में तो it's so fascinating and it's so clear and correct, but see, there is a grammatical mistake. So if I prefer 3 1 2, right, uh, as the logical flow, it is not correct. Why? Now let me tell you. If you pick the extent of social injustice in the world and the widespread prevalence of hunger is a cold indicator of when this. So बस सुनने में ही बढ़िया लग रहा है, but there is a mistake, and the mistake is because one thing is this and one thing is this. How you can use is a helping verb, a singular helping verb before combining, like with combination of two things. So it should be are, right, if you're taking like that. So there is a grammatical mistake in 312. So what we do is, first, the widespread prevalence of hunger is a cold indicator of the extent of social injustice in the world and how people cannot take even a basic thing like food for granted. Right? I hope it is now clear. So 132 will be the most suitable sentence. Right? So it's not something, if you feel yes, it is so fascinating and it is something that in hearing it is sounding cool or it sounds correct, but it doesn't mean that it always sounds correct in grammatical way as well, right? So you need to look for these things in depth, and this is how you can solve, right? So let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, give the correct sequence of the given words or phrases to the to that forms a logical sentence again. So this is same. See, this is same. The last one. So you can use here. It usually everyday here. So rain, raining, rains, rain. Okay. So here we are talking about the current scenario. That means the present, right? So we should use the present verb. And whenever we need to refer that it is raining. So it is raining is something that currently is raining, right? That means ing form. So it is raining. So that can be correct. But here if you see, that we are talking about a current scenario, not a current situation, right? So it usually rains here because we are talking about present, so we will use rains, right? Rain we don't use because with rain we consider rain as singular, so that's why we use a plural. That's why we use s wala form of rain. Raining is with is, right? So not alone. Rains is all right. Rained is not we are using because we are talking about the present, not the past. So we can't use rain, right? So rains, option number third will be the correct answer here. Now, let's move on to the next. Fill up. His dash habit killed him. So whenever you have to talk about habit, always use ing form, right? So because you see that smoke, smoker, smokes, smoking, that means we are the main word is smoke, right? Now if you have to refer habit, so always use ing form. So his smoking habit killed him. उसकी धूम्रपान करने की आदत ने उसको मार दिया. ठीक है. So let's move on to the next question. Choose the word that is closest in the meaning. Again, you need to look for the synonym. So it is something pacify. Pacify means to calm down someone, right? To give a soothing feeling to someone, right? So let's say placate, aggravate, gall, or slow. So placate is something, is the synonym, because placate is again to give someone warm feelings, to give someone sympathy, empathy, and to cool down someone, to calm down someone, to soothe them, right? So placate is the correct meaning of that. Let's move on to the next question. Choose the best replacement for the bold part. Again, the mountains of Tibet are by far as the most beautiful of all. See, here we are using the, and after the, we need to use superlative degree of adjective. Adjective, I guess. Yes, adjective, right? So it should be most beautiful. right? There are three forms of degree: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. So here, after the, you need to use superlative degree, right? So it should be most beautiful. So the replacement will be most beautiful. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, give the correct sequence of, again, we need to follow a logical structure. The progress of science has brought a significant transformation as people are increasingly spending more time on social media and apathetic to the happenings of the real world in the living standards of the people, but also has left them more self-serving and isolated. Okay, so the third statement is telling the effect of something. Now it effects of what? So the progress in science, right? So okay, let's have a look. The progress of science has brought a significant transformation in the living standard of the people. So introductory part is this. Then the progress of science has brought a significant transformation. Kisme transformation lie, right? What effect is there after the transformation? So in the living standards of people, but also has left more self-serving and isolated. So there are disadvantages as well. Now, in the continuation of this, you can follow this, as people are increasingly spending more time on social media and apathetic to the happenings of the real world. So 132 will be the correct answer for this question. I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next question. Choose the best replacement for the underlined part of the sentence. He smiled at my use of jargon. He, he is singular, and we are talking about present simple. So with singular, we need to use s or es in the main verb, right? So he smiles at my jargons. Okay, so smiles is the correct answer. I hope it is clear to you. So let's solve next questions. We have done with this. And then, what is the suitable antonym of poise? So suitable antonym of poise: frenzy, discipline, anger, and fever. Right. So poise is poise. What is the meaning of poise? I think a very calm situation. Right. Poise is a very calm situation or a very calm nature person, if I'm not wrong. Yes, let me check it on Google. Yes, poise means calm and behaving, normally, or we can say generously, right? So frenzy is something, a very wild behavior in the form of anger, right? So बहुत ज्यादा गुस्सा आ जाना, wild behavior. So yes, it can be the antonym, because calm is the extreme calm and frenzy means the extreme wild behavior in the form of anger. So it will be the answer. Discipline will be the synonym of that, poise, right? Anger is, of course, the opposite, but the thing is that poise is extremely calm. So, extremely anger or the wild behavior should be frenzy. So, that's why this is the exact antonym of that, right? Fever is not relatable in the context. Now, we have discussed this specify and placket already. So, okay. Now, let's discuss the last one for today. So, choose the best replacement for the bold part uh, of the statement. All the best. You can hope that good sense prevails, but do not try to talk them out of the quarrel right now. Okay. At the best. See, whenever we have to define something that is at the most favorable statement or at the most favorable way, right? So we use at best, not at the best, right? So whenever you have to denote something that is already in the most favorable way, so you will use at best, not at the best. So at best will be the correct answer. Now mark the sentence that is grammatically correct. Now for that, you need to give the answer in the comment section as a homework. So the very first question we have to find out the error, and spotting error is something that will come for sure, right? You will be getting two or three questions from spotting error in verbal ability sections for sure. Okay.
So the very first question is find the part of the sentence that contains an error. So this is the complete sentence actually. There are three statements that is broken down and that will form a complete statement, or I would say sentence. And you need to find out in which part the error lies, right? So he could not but help shedding tears at the plight of the villagers rendered homeless by a devastating cyclone. So basically, this is a scenario when a cyclone has occurred and it has devastated all the things. It has destroyed the homes of the villagers, and someone who couldn't see this had to beep, right? So he could not help him to stop his tears, and he, as soon as he saw the situation of the village and all the homeless villagers, he could not help him to stop his tears. So basically, it should not, but there should not be any use of what. So it will be removed from here. He could not help shedding tears at the plight of the villagers rendered homeless by a devastating cyclone. So जैसे ही उसने देखा कि सारे ही लोगों का घर बर्बाद हो गया ड्यू टू दिस साइक्लोन, उसके आंसू नहीं रुके और वो रो दिया, राइट? सो ही कुड नॉट हेल्प शेडिंग टीयर्स, राइट? वो अपने आंसू नहीं रोक पाया. सो बट इज something that should not be used here. So the error lies in this part. He could not but help, right? So but should be removed. Okay. Now, coming on to the next question, most of the members at the meeting felt that the group appointed for investigating the case were not competent to do the job efficiently. So the error is very tricky, right? See, here we are talking about most of the members at the meeting felt. So we are talking about members at the meeting. This is all okay because we are talking about a certain location. So we can use at there, at preposition, right? It is all okay. But the error lies in, because we are talking about group. So group is a singular thing, not, see, group is a collective thing, right? Collection of people. But if we talk about only group, so group is something singular, right? Group is a collection of people, but the group is singular. So with singular, we can't use the plural form of verb, right? So it should be most of the members at the meeting felt that the group appointed for investigating the case was not competent to do the job efficiently, right? Because we are talking about group, that is a singular thing. So we can't use plural verb. So we need to use was here. So the error lies in C part. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is rearrange these parts PQRS to form a meaningful sentence. So this is something very important for you for a placement exam. No matter you are preparing for Infosys, no matter you are preparing for TCS or any other company, this is something that will come for sure. Right now, this is the starting statement or the initial statement, and there are four statements also. See, I'm saying statements or I'm saying sentence. Both is correct, right? So okay. I have initial one, and then I need to rearrange these PQRS in a certain order so that they can form a meaningful sentence. Okay. I don't remember. I saw a man dying in front of a hospital, but when I left Lucknow in 1984, hit apparently by a fast moving car, the exact date. Okay. So if we try to rearrange this, so we can use this like I don't remember the exact date, right? I don't remember the exact date. I saw a man dying in front of a hospital, but when I left Lucknow in 1984, hit apparently. Okay, so I don't remember the exact date. That means it should be start from S. So we can eliminate these options, right? So what we are left with SQRP or SQPR. That means we are sure that the second statement should be Q only, right? So I don't remember the exact date, but when I left Lucknow in 1984, I saw a man dying in front of a hospital. That man was apparently hit by a fast moving car, right? So R should be last and P should be here. So SQPR will be the correct arrangement of this sentence, right? So I don't remember the exact date, but when I left Lucknow in 1984, I saw a man dying in front of a hospital, hit apparently by a fast moving car, right? So it will be the answer. Moving on to the next question. So just a minute. The next question is again rearrange the parts PQRS. So the master who was very loyal to him, to whom? So it cannot be the first statement or first sentence, right? Punish the servant. So it is something, yeah, it is making sense here. The master punished the servant, right? The master punished the servant. So I'm sure that, okay, this will start from Q, so I can eliminate these options, right? So what I have left with QPSR and QRPS. Okay, so let me again check. The master punished the servant who was very loyal to him. Who was very loyal to him? The servant was very loyal to him. So QP. So QPSR. See, now you can check the options that QPSR is the only option that we are left with in this sequence. So C option will be correct. Right. So this is how you can save your time. But again, let's check it. The master punished the servant who was very loyal to him when he left the work unfinished without giving any valid reason. So the scenario was that there is a servant who didn't inform master that this is something the genuine reason, that's why I'm not completing the work. So he left the work. That's the reason, because the servant didn't inform him that this is the reason I'm not completing or I'm not finishing the work. So that's why the master got angry and punished the servant, right? So QPSR will be the correct answer. Okay, let me move forward. So the next question is, I have lived in Delhi since I was 4. So we need to check if this sentence is correct. So we will mark no improvement. If there is something needed to improvement, so we have to improve here, right? So I have lived in Delhi since I was 4. So here, since is telling an action that occurred in past and is continuously going on, right? Since we use that some action occurred in past and it is continuously flowing in present also. So it is something present perfect, right? So I have lived in Delhi since I was 4. It is absolutely correct. There is no any improvement required. Okay. The next question is, this telephone number is not existing. So here the thing is that exist, the main verb exist is a stative verb, right? Is a stative verb but not an action verb, right? Exist is not an action verb. It is a stative verb, and if whenever we have a stated verb, so we need to use the what I should say, the correct participle, right? So the correct participle. So if I will use here the correct participle, uh, it should not use the ing form because it is a stative verb, not an action. So this telephone number does not exist. The correct participle will be does not exist, right? So option number B will be the correct answer here. I hope the things are clear. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is, rearrange the word to form a meaningful sentence. T, have, that, some, before. Mm, okay, so let's try. Have some tea before that. Yeah, simple, right? Uh, in usual language also, we usually say that have some tea before that thing, right? So have some tea before that. So have some tea before that, right? 24153. 24153. Option number C will be the correct answer. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. Rearrange the word to form a meaningful sentence. Again, not hotel comfortable was the, so first of all subject. So the subject is hotel, right? So because we are talking about some specific hotel, so we have to use the article also, right? So the hotel, then simple verb, right? Was not, because we don't have any main verb here, so we will use the helping verb here. So was not comfortable, then object, right? Comfortable. So the hotel was not comfortable. It will be the correct arrangement. Okay. Moving next. The next is, you need to change the voice. If it is given in the active, so you need to change in passive. If it is in passive, you need to change in active. Very simple, right? Okay. The question is, the doctor advised the patient not to eat rice. So, what is the basic what I should say, what is the basic rule? Subject will be changed to object, object will be changed to subject. The very first thing is that, right? So subject will be changed to object. And in verb, what will happen? Be plus participle verb, right? Just a minute. Be plus participle verb. Okay. Now, the doctor advised the patient not to eat rice. So here, this object will be converted to, or will be changed into subject. So the patient then the doctor advised the patient not to eat rice. So the patient, now we need to use be form of verb, right? So we will use the participle. So advise, that means past participle we will be using. So we need to use be form of verb, that means was. So then the main verb with the third form, okay, advised. Then we use why also. When converting in passive, we use why also in object form. So why? This subject will be converted to object, the doctor not to eat rice. Simple. So the very first option will be the answer for that. The doctor advised the patient not to eat rice. So the patient was advised by the doctor not to eat rice. As simple as that, right? If you know the basic rule of active passive, you can easily change this. Okay. Now, next question is they will inform the police. So here, this object will be converted into subject. So the police inform. This inform will be changed to according to the rule. That means third form, right? So inform should be there in case of verb. But here we have will also. So we need to use the same. The police will be informed. Why we? Because we need to use the uh, B is something that is in rule, right? So B, the police will be informed. Why them? This this subject will be converted to object. So when it will be converted into object, so it will be converted as them, not they, right? So the police will be informed. Just a minute. The police will be informed by them. Option number A will be the correct answer. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is which of the phrases given below, which each sentence should replace the phrases printed in bold type to make the grammatically correct. Okay, okay. All right. So whatever is written in the bold, we need to just look for that. There are not many men who are so famous that they are frequently referred by their short names only. So we need to give some alternative for the short names. So you usually heard na Dr. S.K. Gupta, Dr. A.K. Mathur, or Professor N.K. Narayan, like that. So this is something that the short names, it is not something that is correct in grammar, but the thing is initials. It is called initials, right? This is called initials. So short names usually refers as initials. Short names is not correct, right? So initials is the correct one. Now, the man to whom I sold my house was a cheat. See, whenever you have a preposition followed by uh, who, you need to convert them. You need to convert it into object. So it would be to whom, not object. Sorry, what I should say. Mm, relative pronoun, okay. To whom, the man to whom I sold my house was a cheat. So to whom will be the correct answer. To whom. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. The next question is, in each question an incomplete statement followed by fillers is given, and then you need to pick out the best one which can complete stem correctly and meaningfully. Okay. Whatever they've uttered means said, right? So whatever they've uttered was without rhyme or reasons. Simple. So whatever they've uttered was without rhyme and reason. So they have said everything that is baseless, that is useless, that has no meaning, right? So simple. means that they've said something which has no meaning. It was totally wasteless. Okay, as simple as that. Sometimes you will get some questions that are totally illogical and so simple, right? The next question is, he tames animals because he. Tames means to take care of, right? To take care of in domestic sense. Okay, he tames animals because he. So someone who is taking care of something or someone or some animal, he or she must be fond of this, right? He or she must love them, right? So he's fond of them, or he or she must love them. That's why they are doing so now. So he is fond of them. Okay, now, okay, so we have now reading comprehension, and this is something, I have a surprise for you for that. I have heard so many times that you are facing so many problems while solving reading comprehension. So I find out the solution, and recently I made a video. This video, reading comprehension for Infosys, Capgemini, LTI, Mindtree, Accenture, etc. Right. So all the companies are covered here. So in this 52 minutes videos, what I have done, first of all, I have discussed rules and regulations, then tips and tricks, then how to approach a short length reading comprehension, then mid length reading comprehension, and a long reading comprehension, because long reading comprehension is for TCS. So I have covered all the companies. I have taken care of all the companies and all the difficulty levels. Then I have solved three reading comprehension in just one video. And if you will see the comments below down this video, so you will find something very good. That thank you so much, Didi. I only spent 4 hours of preparation by watching your playlist in 2x speed. Passed this round and got shortlisted for interview. Right? Then we want more videos like this, and then thanks, Dee. The way you explained is truly helpful. Video plays. Thank you, and blah blah blah. Right. So this video will definitely help you. Please once check it out. This video, and RC problem will be solved. See, 5 marks questions you can take from this video only. So that is gonna really helpful for you. So first of all, watch that video. Don't skip this video. First, listen to me. After watching this video, go and watch that video, that 1 hour video, and then come on to this, right? And try to solve. You will find it so easy, right? So this is something I am giving you an homework, and I'm moving on to the next questions. Okay, so we need to arrange these sentences in a meaningful paragraph. Okay, so sea, river, or lake water should not be used. Antibiotic ointments aid in healing. Doctors say that when you get hurt, the first step should be to use clean water in treating the wound. After cleaning the wound, apply antibiotic ointment or cream, and also use clean cloth and soap to clean the wound. Okay, so first of all, we need to introduce the problem or the topic, right? So this is something, the introductory part, right? Doctors say that when you get hurt, the first step should be to use clean water in treating the wound. Now we have introduced, then we are talking about the steps to clean the wound, right? So we are cleaning this thing, and in continuation to that, also use clean cloth and soap to clean the wound. So 5. Then, once you have cleaned the wound, after that, what you need to do? It is clearly written there. After cleaning the wound, apply antibiotic ointment or cream. 4. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Then doctors say that when you get hurt, the first step should be to use clean water in treating the wound. After cleaning the wound, apply antibiotic ointment or cream. Also use clean cloth. Uh, Mm, 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 mm. There is some precaution also given. Ointment or cream. Sea, river, or lake water should not be used. So it come first. It come here, right? Then 4. After cleaning the wound and ointment and cream, also use clean cloth. Just a minute. Okay, let me figure it out again. Okay, so doctors say that when you get hurt, the first step should be to use clean water in treating the wounds. First of all, we will mark this. Okay, we have introduced the problem, then also use clean cloth and soap to clean the wound, right? Then we will tell them some precautions as well. Sea, river, or lake water should not be used because we are talking about clean water. So we will give a precaution as well that please don't use sea, river, or lake water, right? So that will come here. Then, after cleaning the wound, apply antibiotic ointment or cream. So, four, and then at last, antibiotic ointments aid in healing. Right? So, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2 will be the arrangement. Now, which of the following should be the first sentence in the paragraph? So, 3. 3 will be the first sentence in the paragraph. Right? This is your homework. You need to comment in the comment in the comment box, and this is the last question. I am solving this. Okay, so they give us milk, eggs, meat. Who? So this must not be introductory part. Breeders breed animals to produce farm animals with desirable qualities. So yes, we are introducing about breed animals, right? So breeders breed animals to produce farm animals with desirable qualities. Farm animals fulfill most of our food and agriculture needs. So we are talking about farm animals. Now we are talking about benefits from them, right? Benefits from them. Then what are these benefits? So they give us milk, eggs, meat, etc. Okay. Then, for example, the Jamunapuri breed of a goat provide good milk and meat. So we have talked about uh, benefits. Now we can follow by some real world example, right? So four, then they also provide fertilizers to improve crop yield and help farmers work the land. Five. Okay, so this will be the correct arrangement of these sentences to make a meaningful paragraph. Now, which of the following should be the third sentence in the paragraph? So, one will be the answer of that. I hope it is clear to you. So, your homework part is that RC you need to solve, right? This RC you need to solve, and this question is your homework. So, there are two homeworks. You need to comment down in the comments. Okay. All right. So the very first question I have taken from reading comprehension, which is again a very, very important part for your every placement exam wherever verbal ability will be asked. And for reading comprehension, I have a dedicated video that is kind of 1 hour video, right? 52 minutes of video. And this video, reading comprehension for Infosys, Capgemini, LTI Mindtree, and for other company, this single video will definitely helpful for you because in this video I have talked about how you need to approach a short length paragraph, a mid length paragraph, and a high difficulty plus high word count paragraph. What are the rules and what are the tips and tricks to solve reading comprehension in less time and accuracy? Okay, all right. So let's get started. So as we know that this is a kind of short length paragraph only, so we will go in depth and then one by one we will be marking the answers. In the world of science, data serves as the foundation of progress. Researchers collect, analyze, and interpret data to understand natural phenomena. With the advancement in technology, large-scale data collection has become more feasible, allowing scientists to develop models that predict future trends. However, the sheer volume of data can sometimes overwhelm, leading to challenges in sorting relevant information from irrelevant noise. So, if we see that the whole paragraph or the whole reading comprehension is circulating all about data, right? First of all, we are introducing the data concept, and then we are talking about the advancement in technology and this reflection on data. Then, at last, we are talking about that with the increased amount of data, what are the problems we are facing, right? Okay, so let's have a look onto the questions. The first question is, what is the foundation of progress in the world of science according to the passage? So simple, according to the passage, the foundation of progress is data. Data serves as the foundation of progress. So if we see onto the options, so only one option we have related to data, that is data collection, or it can be data only or data collection. If it is so, so it is all correct. So option number B will be the correct answer for this question, right? Uh, Coming on to the next question is what has made large scale data collection more feasible? So if we talk about feasibility, so I think we have something here that feasible. Okay, with the advancement in technology, large-scale data collection has become more feasible, allowing scientists to develop models that predict future trends. So, what has made large-scale data collection more feasible? Advancement in technology, right? So, option number A will be the correct answer. That advancement in technology has uh, made data collection more feasible. Okay. Question number third is, what challenge arises from the large volume of data collected? So that we got from however line, right? From however line, and here we are talking about the sheer volume or the large volume of data. So what is the problem here? That sometimes it is hard to sort the relevant and irrelevant information if we have a large amount of data. So the primary problem is this, right? So here the problem in sorting relevant and irrelevant information if we have a sheer volume of data or the large amount of data. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, now moving on to the closed test. So closed test is also a very important part of your verbal ability section, right? So this is the passage given, and this was asked in 2022. This same passage was asked in 2022, and it has also occurred in Exchanger exam, right? Okay, now, the passage is in the past few years, there has been a significant in the number of people using social media platforms. Okay, so options for first blank, these four options are given, and relevant option you need to choose as the answer. Okay, so in the past few years, there has been a significant in the number of people using social media platforms. So we know that social media platforms are increasing day by day, and the people who are using it also increasing day by day, right? So their option will be increased. So in the past few years, there has been a significant increase in the number of people using social media platforms. Social media has transformed the way individuals communicate information and share ideas. So now we are talking about the action that are performed using social media, what social media is helpful for, or what social media is doing, right? So it transformed the way individuals communicate, share information, right? Because information can be either consume or share. So if consume is the option, so we will mark consume. If share is the option, so we will mark share, right? Consume and share ideas. Okay. However, this also brings challenges such as concerns about privacy and the then okay. So let's see the third option available: progress, scenario, development, or failure. So if we see that the whole thing that the increment of data is something kind of growth or the development, right? So here we are talking about the I would say the next scenario that okay, social media has transformed this okay, but there are certain areas that social media is not so useful, right? So we are talking about the opposite cases. However, this development also brings challenges that okay, there are so many advancement, there are so many changes in social media with this social media, but there are certain areas that comes with challenges, that brings challenges, right? So here the answer would be development. So I'm marking development as the answer here. Then okay, now coming on to the fourth blank and the spread of misinformation. So spread of misinformation such as concern about privacy and the so the second disadvantage of this is the rapid spread of misinformation because you usually see now that any kind of rumor or any kind of misinformation goes viral so uh, like in very less time, right? So this is something a disadvantage of social media. So the answer would be here rapid, rapid, rapid spread of misinformation, right? As more people engage with social media, it becomes increasingly important to analyze the content they consume critically, right? If we see the options, so it is it becomes increasingly important to accept no doesn't make any sense, reject doesn't make any sense, analyze we can find because actually we are talking about a particular data about social media. So analyze would be the appropriate option here. Okay, I think we have filled all the blanks here. Now Coming on to the next part, fill in the blanks again. So she went to park to relax after a long day workout. So here are articles given, right? So if we see that this is a general statement, but we are talking about a specific use case of that general statement, right? So in general, we don't use any article, but in general cases, if we are talking about some specific use cases or a specific event, that is to go into a park for after a long day, so it is something a specific event, right? In a general use, in a general case, so we will use the here. She went to the park to relax after a long day at work. Okay, now the next is he is sitting the table waiting for his food. So we need to fill this with appropriate prepositions. So whenever you need to fulfill a blank with the appropriate preposition, when someone is waiting for food or someone is waiting for work or doing his work on the table, right? So you will not use on, you will use at. So whenever someone is waiting for food at the table, or whenever someone is working at the table, so we will use at but not on. Okay, because on is something that, suppose this is a table, so on the surface of the table, so nobody sits on the surface of the table for the food, right? We use chair, besides chair we sit and then we take our food, right? So it is something it will be used here. The next is we will meet you Friday evening. So we will meet you on Friday evening. Why on? Because on is used before weekdays. If you are telling about certain time, that at that time I'll be meet you. So if it is a weekday, so you will use on before that weekday, right? Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Error spotting. So here the next question now. Next question is jumbled word or paragraph. So you need to rearrange these words to make a meaningful sentence, right? Apple, I, and eat every day. So the very simple rule is subject plus verb plus object plus remaining, right? So subject here is apple, I, and at every day. So apple is the subject, but before apple you need to use article. Apple is the singular, and it sounds as verbal, so we will use an apple, right? So an apple. Okay, okay. Here I is also there. Okay. I ignored I by mistake. So here I will be subject, right? First of all, subject will come I, then verb. So verb here is eat, then the remaining sentence or with the object. So I eat an apple every day. Option number A will be correct. Okay. I think it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. To is his every bicycle used? See, it is not to, it is day. Okay. Now, so first of all, subject. So his bicycle, because there is no any, I should say person. So we will use some another subject, right? So his bicycle, then verb is used every day. Then the remaining part or the object of the statement or the sentence, right? So his bicycle is used every day. It should be every day. Option number D. Let's move on to the next question. Rearrange the following words to form a meaningful sentence. So plan the is vacation next our summer. So very simple. The plan is our next summer vacation, right? The plan is our next summer vacation. Now, this is your homework because we are solving 3 to 4 type of question in this way only. So this is your homework, right? And don't worry, guys. See, I'm I'm collecting the questions, only those type of questions which are mostly asked questions, right? I'm not wasting your time because I also don't have time uh, to waste. And if you see my previous videos, if you see my comment section, my Instagram highlights, you will be getting your answers. If you are having some questions, you will be getting your answers. Okay. The next question is choose the correct synonym for the word elaborate. So you usually say, na, can you please elaborate it? That means, can you please explain it a little bit more? So if you want someone to explain about something in depth, right? So if you want to go in depth, So it should be explained. Elaborate means explain. Choose the correct antonym for the word vivid. So vivid means one who is very livelihood, one who is very bright, one who is very chaotic type of person, or kind of enjoyable personality, bright person, right? So it would be dull because it is asking for antonym. Okay. The next question is select the correct form of the verb to complete the sentence. She a book when I called her. So if you see that it is something past continuous statement or past continuous tense, right? So she was reading a book when I called her. Some event happened when one event already in the continuation, right? So past continuous tense we are using here. She was reading a book when I called her, right? Okay, the next question is choose the correct word to complete the sentence. The manager is responsible, the new policy implementation. The manager is responsible for the new policy implementation. This is the correct preposition here. Okay, moving on to the next question, one word substitution. A person who loves to travel is called. So it might be a case that you think that he will be a traveler. See, traveler is someone who is traveling or who used to travel. Okay, but the appropriate option or the answer here is venturer. One who is fond of traveling, one who is fond of traveling, who loves traveling, right? Because traveler can be someone that maybe वो मजबूरी में कहीं जा रहा हो, but wanderer is someone who loves to travel, who loves to explore place to place, right? Okay. But if wanderer is not in the option, so you can mark traveler. That is okay. But if traveler and wanderer both are options available, so you need to mark wanderer. Okay. The next question is a person who studies insect is known as. So insect study is known as entomology, and one who studies insects called entomologist. Botanist is who study about plants. Zoologist is who studies about animals. Entomologist who studies about insects, and ornithologist who study about birds, right? Okay. The science of writing is called. So the science of writing, of beautiful writing, is called calligraphy. Geology, the study of earth, or typography, the study of fonts, printed fonts, right? Photography, the art of clicking the pictures. The next question, idioms and phrases. So what is the idiom hit the nail on the head? This question I have seen many times in Infosys, in TCS, in Accenture, LTI Mindtree. It is something kind of having the 80 to 90% weightage in each exam or in any slot, right? So I have seen multiple times this question. What is the idiom hit the nail on the head? And by seeing this, it is absolutely clear that something you have uh, uh, you have marked something precisely correct, right? कि भाई एकदम निशाना मार दिया एकदम सही चीज पे. So to be precisely correct will be the answer for this question. The next question, what does the phrase break the ice mean? So break the ice means to break the silence or to start the conversation while you are sitting in a societal place or societal setting. So start a conversation in a social setting. The third is what is the idiom walking up the wrong tree? So walking up the wrong tree means to blame someone uh, for no reason or for means that something has happened and you are blaming to that event or blaming to some person for no reason. So walking up the wrong tree, right? To make a mistake. You are making a mistake if you are blaming someone who is not responsible for that. So you are simply making a mistake. It is absolutely clear, right? Moving on to the next question. Antonym and synonym again. What is the synonym of generous? So generous means one who is very down to earth, one who is udar in Hindi, right? One who is very kind-hearted, right? Benevolent is the synonym of this. Mean is very. We usually say na he is very mean. He is very cheap person, right? Stingy is again selfish is again opposite of this. The second is what is the antonym of difficult? So difficult antonym will be simple, right? Simple. What is the synonym of rapid? Rapid means fast, right? So rapid, fast. Synonym is fast. The next question, that is indirect speech. Raj said, I am teaching English online. So while converted into reported speech, we will be using simple. Raj said, then this comma and inverted comma will be removed and it will be continued with that. I will be changed with the according to this subject, and subject is the third person, right? So I will be changed as he. Then I am. So this verb will be changed with the nearest one or just the past one. So will be was, he was, then simple teaching English online. So Raj said that he was teaching English online, right? This is your homework. You need to tell me in the comment section. So this is the very first question that is from RC, reading comprehension, and RC is the very important thing for your placement exam, not only for Infosys but for TCS, Deloitte, LTI, Mindtree, Accenture, etc. Right. So different company do ask different types of RCs, right? And for RC, although I have a one shot video, let me show you, right? I have a one shot video that how to up, so right, because this is a short length paragraph. So my tip would be that I will read this paragraph thoroughly and in depth so that I don't need to come back again and again, and I can easily mark the options. Okay. Now, let's start. Global warming refers to the long-term rise in the average temperature of the Earth's climate system. So, this is the definition. It is primarily caused by increased concentrations of greenhouse gases which trap heat in the atmosphere. So, there is something the reason of global warming, which is greenhouse gases, right? And then human activities such as deforestation and burning fossil fuels have significantly contributed to this phenomena. While the impacts of global warming can be felt globally, some regions experience more extreme effects such as rising sea levels and more frequent natural disasters. Okay, so the question is what primarily causes global warming? So we saw that the greenhouse gases are the main reason of global warming. So option number C will be the correct answer, right? For short length paragraph, you don't need to worry. Simple, thoroughly read it, okay? And keep an eye on the crux, right? Then only you can solve in easy and in easy way as well as in fast. Okay, the next question is which human activity have contributed significantly to global warming? So we have discussed this thing here that human activities such as deforestation and burning fossil fuels. Option number B will be the correct answer. Then the next question is which of the following is an impact of global warming mentioned in the passage? So the impact was mentioned lastly, right, as a conclusion, right? While the impacts of global warming is in some reasons that is rising sea levels and more frequent natural disasters. So here, if it is given, rising sea levels is given. Also, natural disaster is also given, but less frequent. No, this is something more frequent. So this option D will be eliminated here just because of less frequent, right? Rising sea levels will be the correct answer. How fast we have solved this, right? Okay, let's move on to the next question. So this is the question from sentence improvement, and it is a very important part for your Infosys exam preparation. Okay. John is as fast as or perhaps faster than Sarah. If we see this statement, or I would say this sentence, so here we are comparing as fast as it is the sorry, it is the equality, right? It is measuring equality, and here we are comparing. So both the things are correct in their own way because John is as fast as. Here we are talking about the equality. Okay, and here we are comparing. So both the things are correct. Yes, so no correction is required here. The next question is she loves the music, the art, the dance. Okay, so here we are talking about the skills. We are talking about that what she loves. Okay, the music, the art, and the dance. So all these things will be started with the. And here the problem is that whenever we are talking about different things, so we need to use comma, and at the last, before the last, we need to use and, right? So all the things will be separated by comma, but before the last one, we need to use and. So the music, the art, and the dance will be the correct answer, right? The next question is The girl told her teacher to explain the whole lesson again. See, told is something that girl said to the teacher. But if you are asking someone to if you are I would say, if you are requesting your teacher that please, can you please, sir, can you please explain this lecture again, or can you please explain this lesson again? So actually you are requesting, or you are asking to him or her, right? But you are not telling him, you are not ordering him. Okay, so said to her is wrong here. Asked her teacher will be the correct replacement. Okay. The next question is, she not only was strongest but also most intelligent. So if you see here that we are using superlative degree here, right? Strongest, ESD, and here most intelligent. And always remember, before superlative degree, the is compulsory. To use the before superlative degree is compulsory. So she not only was the strongest but also the most intelligent. This would be the correct one. So here the error lies in this part. Only was strongest is wrong. Not only was she strongest. Okay. Let me see. She not only was strongest. So here the error lies. Okay. So it should be the strongest. And if we move forward, so the error here also the most intelligent, right? So in both the parts the error is. The next is, the analyst said that since the rate of gold would go up, the cost of ornament is also increasing. Okay, now here, if you see the parallelism, so the parallelism is, I would say, disbalancing. The thing is that we are talking about the entire statement is in past tense, right? How we can use present continuous tense here? If we need to use parallelism, because parallelism is the rule of grammar, right? So the analyst said that since the rate of gold would go up, so again here we need to use past tense only. The cost of ornament would increased, right? Would also increase. This will be the correct one. We can't use present continuous with past. Okay, let's move on to the next question. She is tallest of all the girls. Again, I explained there na that whenever you are using superlative degree, so the is mandatory. So she is the tallest. She is the tallest. So here the error lies in this part, right? She is tallest. So the replacement of will be the tallest. The tallest. Option number D will be the correct answer. Okay. Now, coming on to the next question, again here we need to identify the error and then we need to correct. In summer, days are more warmer than nights. See, either you can use more or you can use ER, because these both the things representing the comparison. So we can't use two things for comparison, right? So warm, warmer, warmest. This is the form of degree, right? So here, warmer will be correct and more will be eliminated. Okay. The next question is, he killed the enemy by his sword. So why his sword is wrong here? Because whenever we are talking about the relationship, or we are talking about that someone is using some instrument or tool directly, so we will use with, but not why, right? So a person who is using a tool or an instrument directly with his hands or with her hands, so we will use with, but not why, right? So with his sword will be the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. The next question is, again, we need to identify the error part. This is the complete sentence given in breaks. So we need to identify in which break the error lies. Okay. The economic disparity has grown rapid in the era of globalization. Okay. If we see here that we need we need an adjective, right? And here the adjective is rapid, but it is not correct. The economic disparity, for this noun we need an adverb. Actually the adjective is given, we need an adverb. So adverb will be added. Rapidly. Rapidly will be used here. The economic disparity has grown rapidly in the era of globalization. This will be the correct. So the error lies in second part. The next part is, sorry, the next question is, either Ram or Bhuvan forgot to take their pen, no error. Okay. So again, a very important thing is, whenever you have a sentence with either or, and you have singular on both the sides, so always remember that here the verb should be, or the I would say, mm, any pronoun, anything that should not be used for plural, that should be used for singular. Because if we see that either Ram or Bhuvan, so out of two, we are talking about each one by one, not collectively, but solely, right? So whenever we are talking about solely, either Ram or Bhuvan, so या तो अकेला राम या फिर अकेला भुवन, उनमें से कोई अपना पेन छोड़ गया, so their pen is not correct, right? His pen is correct, because both are singular and we are talking about one only. Out of two, we are talking about one. So his will be correct because with the singular, his is correct pronoun. Okay. So this will be the answer. That fourth part contains an error. Okay. The next question is, payment processing can be a challenge for business, large and small non-profits, and who need to expect credit cards. See, the error lies in the last part. Why? Because from the first till the third part, all the thing is correct. Now the error is, there is expect. That means hoping for something. Credit cards hoping for something doesn't make any sense. It should be accept, the businesses who are accepting credit cards, right? So error lies in here. Option number D. Okay. The next question is, the man is mortal and ultimately has to leave everything here. Yes, this part is, the whole statement is correct. The man is mortal and ultimately has to leave everything here. See, here you can say that before man, why we are using the, because we are not talking about any specific man, but we are talking about something universal truth, right? So that's why the reason is, we are talking that this is something that has to happen. This is the ultimate truth, right? So that's why we will use the man is mortal and ultimately has to leave everything. Okay, so there is no error. So option number 5 will be correct one. Okay, so moving on to the close test now. So here, okay, so there are 5 blanks given, and for each blank, there are certain options given. Out of these options, you need to choose the appropriate option. Okay. Education is often considered the key to success. It opens doors, opportunities, and individuals with the tools. Okay, for 6 blanks, we need to choose appropriate option out of these 4 options. So education is often considered the key to success. It opens doors to unlimited opportunities. It is kind of good, but okay, let's check further also. Hope so. We will get some more appropriate option, right? So it opens doors to unimportant opportunities. No, no, no. It opens doors to few opportunities. No. Education is always important. That opens a lots of doors, right? Unlimited doors. You can earn a lot with the help of education, right? So unlimited doors is most appropriate option here out of these 4. So I'm marking this one. Okay. The next is blank. Individuals with the tools, they need to thrive in the modern world. So deprives individuals, beacons individual, equips disables. Okay. So it opens doors to unlimited opportunities and equips individuals. It equips individuals, that it makes individuals with the tools they need to thrive in the modern world. However, not everyone has. Here now we are talking about some contradiction. Right. However, not everyone has to quality education. Not everyone has the access or the privilege to quality education, which remains a significant gap in many parts of the world, or maybe some challenge, or maybe some kind, there should be a kind of negative word because we are talking about the contradiction, right? So challenge will be the most appropriate word here. Government and organizations must work together to fulfill this gap or to bridge this gap, right? So for bridging this gap, very simple. right? Options are given. You just need to choose the appropriate option. All right, let's move on to the next question. Fill-ups. Okay. She is going to stay at hotel by the beach. Simple. Hotel. So what sounds it is? Consonant sound. Simple. Hotel. Hotel. Right? A will be the correct answer here. Okay. They walked the bridge to reach the other side of the river. They walked over the bridge. Right? So over the bridge will be the correct preposition here. Over the bridge to reach the other side of the river. Okay. Now, error spotting. So, the next question is the team have completed the project ahead of the deadline. So, where the error lies? See, we are talking about the team, right? Team is singular. Actually, the word team is singular. The meaning of team is a collection of people, but this word is singular. This word is considered as singular, so we need to use has here but not have, because have is for plural. So have is wrong here, so it will be the correct answer. It should be replaced by has. Moving on to the next question. The results of the test was not satisfactory. So if we are talking about results, why we are using here was? It should be were, right? It should be were. The results were not satisfactory. So was is incorrect here. Okay. The next is each of the employees are responsible for their own task. Now we are talking about that out of many employee, each of the, that means one employee, particularly one employee is responsible for their own task. Why we are using their? Because if we are talking about one employee at a time, so why we are using their? It should be his. Okay. So there is wrong here. Okay. Let's move further. So fill up again. Choose the correct preposition for the sentence. He is skilled painting and drawing. So whenever we are talking about skills, when someone is good at something, so we use at, right? At painting, dancing, drawing, programming, video making, etc. Right? So it will be the correct preposition here. The next question is choose the word that best completes the sentence. The student showed improvement in his grades. Okay. So before improvement, we need an adjective. We need an adjective. Okay, so here the adjective would be gradual. The student showed gradual improvements in his grades. The next part is identify the correct punctuated sentence. Punctuated means that the comma should be correct, the period symbol, that means the full stop symbol will be at the correct place, the apostrophe is at the correct place. This is something about punctuation. So it's a beautiful day? No. If we are talking about it's a beautiful day, so it should be like obstrophious. It's a beautiful day. Okay, this is correct. It's a beautiful day, and also the full stop is should also there in last. Here it's a beautiful day. Again, there should be a apostrophe. So option number B will be the correct answer. Now I have seen the pattern of Infosys that there is something English written test, right? And in that they will ask you essay, right? So very soon I will be making how to approach an essay, how to write an essay in an effective way. But already I have launched Infosys written exam cheat sheets where I have three cheat sheets for you. First cheat sheet is essay writing complete guide. How to write an essay, how many types of essays are there, how you can approach a new topic in essay, and 50 essays, completely written essay from the previous year topics from different companies, not only for Infosys, Wipro, and that Capgemini, right? Because in these companies, essay would be asked. So I have taken the topics from different companies, and I have written down 50 essays along with the complete guide, how you can approach, how many types of essays are there, why essays are important. Complete cheat sheet is there. And the next cheat sheet is your vocabulary, that are frequently asked words for synonym, for antonym, for one word. I have these cheat sheet for you, and the price is very affordable. You can get this cheat sheet by clicking on the link that is given in the description box, or else directly come on to Google, type Techie CodeBuddy. You will be getting the top mate link on the second. Okay. Then you can explore a lot of things are there. A lot of things are there. And why you should buy from me, you can see the testimonials. Okay. So yeah, that's all for today from my side. We will meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.